What's up? What's up? What's up, Conscious Crew? Yes, God, it is your handy dandy favorite breakdown commentator back, honey. Okay, with some breaking news regarding T.I. and Tiny's sexual assault case. Girl, you guys know that the controversy around T.I. and Tiny's sexcapades have been about as dramatic as the damn R. Kelly trial. And we're gonna get into a few things, okay? If you are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button. Definitely give me a old nasty piece of thumbs up. You guys know that thumbs upping, thumbs up helps YouTube to send the content and the platform out into the recommended sections. It helps to get the content out into other parts of the YouTube verse, okay? So give me a nasty piece of thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing, honey. Copy and paste and share the link out to all of your social media: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pornhub, Plenty of Fish, BigBitches.com. We don't give a damn, okay? All full and free promotion benefits the platform nonetheless, okay? Now, as you guys are thumbs upping and sharing and thumbs upping and sharing again, I'm going to go ahead and play our intro, and then we're going to get into this very interesting update. Oh,
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
hey, you guys, what is going on? Blessed, booked, and busy. Hey, Auntie Trisha. Hey, Shay Bay, what's going on, Catherine? Hey, Aunt Boo, what's going on, love? How you doing? Hey, Sabrina Clark. Hey, Sammy Van. Hey, Miss Yaya, what's going on, Gemini Visions? Hey, Tika Baby. Hey, Bonita. Hey, you guys. So you guys know T.I. and Tiny, baby, have stirred it up for 2021, baby. This was not a good year for the family hustle, baby. If there was any time in their life they had to hustle, baby, if there was any point in time that they had to remember the days of scratching the piggy bank and rummaging through the goddamn car seat for change, because that coin hit an all-time low as a result of them being canceled due to allegations by 14 to 30 women that came forth due to what initially was Sabrina Peterson, who used to be a close friend and employee of the family, coming into conflict with the Harris family. Her calling T.I. out on Instagram due to him allegedly putting a gun to her head due to a altercation she had with another female at T.I. and Tiny's daughter's birthday party, led to what Sabrina Peterson claimed was a high number of DMs and direct messages and emails from women of all ages, from all walks of life, telling her about the abuse that they allegedly experienced at the hands of T.I. and his wife, Tiny Girl. I have an entire video about a lot of the different aspects regarding their case. Definitely check out that video on my platform. Just type in the search engine when you go to my video catalogs and just type in T.I. and Tiny, and the video will come up. It was a very interesting breakdown, a chronological breakdown about how this all got here. I will also post a link to that video in the description box below as well. But girl, despite all that has happened, baby, the Illuminati gods seem to be on T.I. and Tiny's side. I'm going to pull up an article here, okay, from complex.com that is captioned T.I. and Tiny's sexual assault case dismissed in Los Angeles, okay? So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get into this article together. Because baby, it's a lot going on in the world. In all the worlds of the worlds of the worlds of the world. Let me see here, Complex Magazine. Okay, let me make sure you guys can see this before we get into it. Okay, here it is. So, Complex.com reports, okay, that T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris will not face charges for accusations that they drugged and sexually assaulted a woman in Los Angeles in 2005, TMZ reports. Per the outlet, prosecutors have decided not to charge the rapper and his wife since the case is not within the 10-year statute of limitations since the incident happened 16 years ago. The alleged victim took the matter to the police earlier this year, claiming that she had met T.I. and Tiny at a club and that later the couple tried to drug and assault her. Prosecutors in Los Angeles also decided not to pursue allegations against the pair filed by other victims. A woman in the city lodged similar accusations against T.I. and Tiny, saying she was drugged and assaulted after meeting Tiny at the airport and subsequently going to hang out with her and her husband. Like Los Angeles, the Las Vegas case was also outside of the statute of limitations, so prosecutors dropped the charges. T.I. recently commented on the multiple sexual assault allegations made against him and his wife in an episode of the Big Facts Live podcast. He said, and I quote, "Shit didn't happen." Quote, "To be honest with you, bro, stupid people listen to stupid people." T.I. continued, "It's simple as that. The name of the show is Big Facts. You show me one motherfucking big fact on the subject and we can continue the discussion." This shit started January 29th, okay? Let me roll up. Since January 30th, Since January 30, alleged victims have accused T.I. and Tiny of sexual misconduct in the states of California and Georgia. The couple has continuously denied the claims. So there you have it, guys. Multiple victims in Los Angeles have had their cases dropped by prosecutors because they are outside the statutes of limitations. Okay, statutes of limitations, I think, generally expire at the longest 10 years, and I believe Georgia is even a shorter amount of time. Therefore, matter of fact, I think in Georgia the statute of limitations is about a year or two. So more than likely those cases will be thrown out as well. Now, does this necessarily mean that T.I. and Tiny in fact have not done what was alleged? No, but as it relates to the law, okay, it does not allow T.I. and Tiny to be penalized or to have to undergo due processing, etc., to vet these incidences. Okay, now I believe that the big takeaway here is victims waking up 40, 30, 50, 60 years later, wanting to debut their experiences to the world, need to realize that at the most, all you're probably going to have available to you is writing a book or social media. Because there will be nothing to penalize, there will be nothing to settle out of court with, there will be no standard form of justice that will come about if you decide to wait forever and a day to figure out what you want to do as it relates to your abuser. So hopefully for genuine victims of sexual assault, that they realize that time is not on their side. The faster you act on this violence, act upon your experience, the better. DNA testing, witnesses, etc. All these things help to build a case that prosecutors can use to successfully bring about justice. So that would be unfortunate for the victims. I don't know whether T.I. and Tiny are in fact guilty or innocent. Once again, we are living in the era of clout chasing weirdos and narcissistic ass individuals. Shamika Sharpton was a young lady who had accused Usher Raymond of taking her back to his hotel after a concert and giving her a STI and, you know, alleged that his penis was leaking green and all of this kind of stuff. And celebrity attorney Lisa Bloom got involved and put together a whole media conference regarding these claims by Mrs. Sharpton, only to find out that Mrs. Sharpton had made up the entire ordeal 3 weeks into an investigation that costed taxpayers all of their dollars. And her reasoning was because she wanted her 15 minutes. She wanted to be somebody. And Usher Raymond and his penis had to pay the price for this hungry, drive-through Kentucky Fried Chicken, family value, Bojangles meal eating motherfucker just wanting to have some relevancy, okay? We're also talking about individuals like Janice Dickerson, who jumped on the Bill Cosby bandwagon, okay, claiming that she had been coerced and forced to have intercourse at some hotel and had written it in a book and all of this, and then ended up redacting her statements and pretty much admitting that she embellished the incident, okay? She gave up that white, wrinkled punani willingly, okay? So this is an interesting era for accusations of all kinds to be going up against people. We're not living in the same age and era. People literally will do anything for a click in a view. People will do and say anything about a person for the sake of self-gain. So we have to keep that in mind. I do not at all stand behind this notion that you should believe all victims. No, baby. An allegation is a goddamn allegation until objective proof is provided, okay? I'm not going to risk victimizing someone who's actually innocent by pledging some allegiance to someone who has an allegation. You know, that doesn't even make any logical sense. Now, personally, what you choose to believe, if somebody comes out and makes a claim against somebody, is your business, what you believe in your heart. But I think to get out here and cape for people making allegations, I don't give a damn what kind of allegations they are. It's intelligent and it's sound-minded to allow allegations to be just what the hell they are. Allegations, okay? Allegations, because in this country, folk are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. So it's just in our best interest when it comes to matters like this to watch and observe and motherfucking watch, okay? Hey, Mona Simone, ATL, hey, love. Glad to see you back up here. Yes, child, what's going on site, April? But T.I. and Tiny's problems may not be over, you guys, because Sabrina Peterson seems to be getting her day in court. So let's pull up this other article, okay? Because T.I. and Tiny allegedly made a request to have Sabrina Peterson's lawsuit dismissed, but their request was in fact denied, okay? So let's shout out to, what is this? hotnewhiphop.com. Let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. Okay, yes, you guys can. Okay, so let's read this article. Okay, so this is captioned, T.I. and Tiny's request to dismiss Sabrina Peterson's lawsuit was denied. Okay, this is by Erica Maria, okay? Let me see if I can get this page to act right, child. So it reads, It looks as if Sabrina Peterson will have her day in court. The ongoing legal battle involving T.I. and his wife, Tamika Tiny Harris, reportedly received an update recently after a judge made a decision about the couple's request. They have been going back and forth with their friend turned foe, Peterson, after their online spat spiraled into a court case. Peterson accused T.I. of pulling a gun out on her, and later she was a catalyst for the dozens of people coming forward with accusations of sexual assault against the couple, okay? Let's continue to read here. T.I. and Tiny have repeatedly denied the allegations and are ready to defend their reputations to the fullest in court. And due to the controversy, Peterson fired off a defamation lawsuit for alleged harmful comments the couple made about her. Wednesday, September the 15th, On-Site exclusively reported that Peterson scored a small victory when a judge denied the T.I. and Tiny's request to have the lawsuit dismissed. Tyrone Blackburn, the attorney to Sabrina Peterson, reportedly issued a statement to the outlet regarding this update, and I quote, "The case goes on. T.I., Tiny, as well as Shakana's anti-slap motion failed, and Sabrina is entitled to get justice for the defamation that was visited upon her by the Harrises and Miss Anderson," he reportedly said. Quote, "The next move is on the Harrises to answer the 4 counts that judge allows." Quote, "The hard part for them is that everything is so public, and the fact that Shakana said she was told to do this by Tamika, all these things are detrimental to their case." Okay, so here it is. You guys see it. On-site exclusive. Judge denies request to dump Sabrina Peterson defamation suit against T.I. and Tiny. My goodness, this is a hot mess. Okay. The caption on-site reads, "A judge has denied a request to dismiss Sabrina Peterson's defamation lawsuit against singer Tiny Harris, her husband T.I., and involving associate Shakana Anderson. We've learned exclusively." Peterson's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, told On-Site that a judge is allowing Sabrina's defamation complaint to flourish after a ruling yesterday, okay? So T.I. and Harris best to get to sucking off the goddamn Baphomet's penis and vagina, okay? Because there's still more trouble ahead. Now, my personal opinion, I feel like even though the judge denied the request for T.I. and Tiny as it relates to Sabrina's lawsuit, however, I don't think that Sabrina Peterson is going to come out on top. Sabrina Peterson initiated this whole debauchery, okay? She's also made a lot of statements as it relates to what she alleged happened between her and T.I. She also would have to explain why, despite her coming out years later about a gun that he allegedly put to her head, why he was still allowed to be around her children. Why was she still referring to T.I. as her children's uncle? Why were they still play dates? And why was she still friendly and associating and running closely with the couple for years after this whole violent altercation, okay? Also, T.I. and Tiny's comments come in response to Sabrina Peterson taking to Instagram and bringing up this incident that took place several years ago, etc. And so I think that when this matter goes to court and it gets vetted and attorneys get involved, I mean, either she's just going to not win her lawsuit, or hell, T.I. and Tiny will open up a countersuit against Sabrina and they will in fact win, because it's not like they came out of the woodworks against Sabrina Peterson and just started dragging her. Literally compared to how they responded, Sabrina Peterson at this point has done much more damages punitively to both T.I. and Tiny's reputation and brand, okay, as a result of her being upset that you know, T.I. and Tiny, well, particularly T.I., was being put on some political council regarding community organizing, etc., by the Georgia mayor or some shit. So, you know, she just kind of flipped off and got triggered and came out against T.I. and Tiny. So I don't see her winning personally. She opened up the defamation. If anything, she utilized her own platform and weaponized it against T.I. and Tiny. So it's going to be interesting to see where all of that goes. I think the judge in this case just wants to kind of see and understand what the hell is going on, but I don't think that this judge denying T.I. and Tiny's request is indicative of Sabrina winning. I just don't see her winning, and honestly, I would be surprised if she in fact does win the damn lawsuit against them. So we shall see. What's going on, Infinity Red? What's going on, Sugar? Let me read some of these comments. Agree. Yes, absolutely, Moan. I shall overcome says. Let me see here. I don't know why all the shit is moving so damn. So let me exit out some of these damn windows. Let me put back up T.I. and Tiny's thing. Hold on real quick, you guys. I'm going to read some of y'all comments and I'm going to bounce because I got a lot of commentary to get out today. Oh, yes. We got a Patreon live to do tonight as well. I don't think she's going to come out on top either. She has done some crazy things to people. Yes, not to mention that Sabrina Peterson is like, I mean, Sabrina Peterson is like FUPA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Sabrina Peterson's reputation is completely wrecked and torn. You know, there are at least 3 or 4 restraining orders on record against her by women claiming that she has stalked them at their workplace, that she has harassed them, that she's openly doxed and slandered them on her social media accounts. She also spent 1 year in jail for allegedly slashing the face of her babysitter. I mean, so Sabrina Peterson in the seat of the victim, on top of being the person who initiated all of this debauchery with T.I. and Tiny. Yeah, it just ain't making no sense. And honestly, she's probably going to lose a lot of eyelashes because she's probably going to cry, because she's going to cry a lot of tears over all the money she spent literally trying to win a case and to win a fight that she started with this couple. And I was keeping up with the T.I. and Tiny Sabrina Peterson situation, and I have not seen T.I. and Tiny really say anything that's really that's slanderous per se, or that would be detrimental to Sabrina's reputation. And they damn sure haven't said anything worse than what other victims of Sabrina Peterson have said and kind of proven about her reputation. Okay, once again, check out my T.I. and Tiny video. I will post it in the description box below. You're going to get your life off of that video. Yes, Sabrina Clark, it is a hot goddamn mess. Please thumbs up if you're in the building. What's going on, wifey? Just be real. So sorry. Multitask, baby. Oh my goodness. Yes, Mona is a beautiful ass woman, child. Bone structure is pop locking and dropping. On site, April says, I thought the judge denied them. No. Yeah, he denied T.I. and Tiny. Yes, he denied their request to have Sabrina Peterson's lawsuit dropped. So I guess T.I. and Tiny started feeling themselves because a lot of their sexual assault cases are being thrown out of court and being dismissed. So they took a shot at seeing if they could get Sabrina Peterson's lawsuit against them thrown out of court as well. and it did not work in this case, but I still do not think that her ass is going to actually win. Sabrina says, oh, so actually they were not found innocent. The victims just waited too long to tell the authorities. Yes. So, Sabrina Clark, statute of limitations provide a certain time frame in which alleged victims of sexual assault, molestation, rape, etc., must file charges against their assailant, or their case is ultimately dead. So every state has a certain permittable time to do that, and if you exceed that time frame, then ultimately you're left to find Iyanla and book you a good session and have to bring yourself personal closure to the incident. But there's nothing that the state or the feds or the Supreme Court or the government could do for you. So, you know, and that probably could be argued as right or wrong. Mods in the house. This has been a busy week. Absolutely. Hey, Mom Goody, what's going on, love? Let's Book and Busy said that's why I think it was a payoff. So his accusers can drop the charges because it's bad for business. Yeah, but as we can see, Bless Booked and Busy, it wasn't the accusers who dropped the case. It was the prosecutors who did because of the statute of limitations. Statute of limitations. Let me see if I can pull up something real quick about the statute of limitations. Hold on real quick. Let me see if I can just give a little brief run through of statute of limitations. Statute of limitations. See if we can pull up a real article and get some see if we can get a brief professional understanding. Okay, so I'm going to read from an article. I'm not going to pull up the article, but the article is by rand.org, and I'll post the link in the description box. Because if I try to share this, it's gonna be moving too damn slow. But it reads, understanding statutes of limitations for sex crimes. When a crime is committed, there is a window of time that a state has to charge the perpetrator. The laws that determine this time frame are called criminal statutes of limitations. As high-profile cases of sexual violence continue to make headlines as survivors seek to report crimes, it can help to have a better understanding of these laws and how they vary. What is a criminal statute of limitations? Each state has statutes of limitations that determine the amount of time the state has to charge someone with a crime. You can think of a statute of limitations like a timer. The clock typically starts when the crime occurs. After time runs out, a perpetrator cannot be charged for the crime. Statutes of limitations vary by state, situation, and type of crime. Generally, each state law addresses a few key questions. What starts the clock, or what needs to happen to trigger the statute of limitations, what can pause the clock, or what circumstances cause the statute of limitations to toll, what can keep the clock running, or what ensures that certain victims, such as children, have ample time to come forward and report the crimes, okay? Let me see here. Why do statutes of limitations exist? Statutes of limitations were put in place in part to discourage convictions based on unreliable witness testimony, including memories of events that occurred years in the past. So this is why statute of limitations was created, because after time goes by, a victim can begin to exaggerate their experience and embellish their experience. And once again, all of the evidence around the alleged event pretty much dissipates, okay? Even eyewitnesses cannot be that credible 9-10 years later. They also may fall prey to the imagination, false memories. And so it just gets so muddy and so murky that there's nothing that you can do, not to mention that sexual assault crimes, especially when they lean not necessarily more toward rape, but really more toward molestation, are a bit more ambiguous and subjective to begin with. It's already difficult to prove these things have happened. And when you allow so much time to go by and there's no a preservation of any of the evidence that may be there, from eyewitness accounts to surveillance footage to, let's say that you got sexually assaulted on your job, and let's say that you're working at Wendy's and your supervisor molested you or sexually assaulted you in the back room of Wendy's. Let's say that there were other co-workers at the time who were working there, and they saw the supervisor call you into the office. Let's say that they saw you walk into the office and then saw the supervisor follow you shortly in there, close the door. Let's say that you came out of the office a little disheveled, a little uncomfortable, a little bit unnerved, but ultimately went back to work because you were trying to just collect yourself after this assault. Let's say that there are cameras in the building, okay? But let's say that Wendy's only keeps footage a week old. Now, let's say you go through this whole ordeal and then you wait 10 years, 9 years later to then want to prosecute your perpetrator. You got a big issue here. First of all, you were sexually assaulted, but not necessarily raped. You were molested, you were fondled. So there's already not going to be there's not going to be much physical evidence. There's not going to be any DNA. More than likely, there's not going to be any bodily fluids that can be connected to this type of crime, because it was more so in the realm of molestation. And then there's not going to be any surveillance footage to pull from the parking lot, from the gas station next to the Wendy's, or from Wendy's own surveillance system, because Wendy only archives 2 weeks worth of footage, or 1 week worth of footage, or the footage only runs for 24 hours before it restarts. And then let's say prosecutors try to get in contact and try to get some testimony from those who were on clock with you at the time. At this point in time, they may not even remember how the hell you acted when you came out of the office. You know what I'm saying? So it just becomes real raggedy. And convictions happen upon either a lot of clear-cut objective evidence, or they at least rely heavily upon a lot of circumstantial evidence, which is usually based upon strong eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence like surveillance footage, etc. But once again, all of that kind of just gets real raggedy the longer you wait to report an incident. So it's a lot. It also says here in the article that in recent years, evidence that does not erode over time is often available, such as DNA, audio, or video recordings, emails, texts, and other digital communication. These newer forms of evidence play an important role in investigating and prosecuting crimes of sexual violence. Society also has come to understand more about the physical, emotional, and psychological effects of sexual violence and the reasons why a victim may not immediately report the crime. As understanding of these crimes and their effect has evolved, so have state laws. Okay, so that would be the end of that. We will see what happens, child, with T.I. and Tiny. We'll see what happens with the Georgia cases. They've been good right now for having their Los Angeles and California ones dismissed. Girl, what's going on, LaDaya Lemon? Hey, Mom Goody says, I wonder then why the charges were brought now. Has that been released? What was the catalyst? So apparently the catalyst was Sabrina Peterson herself. She kind of opened up the floodgate for this. She's a pretty notable, popular figure. So when she kind of gave it to T.I. and kind of got in his ass about what he did to her, apparently other women sought refuge in Sabrina Peterson and decided to share with her their own experiences with the couple. And then I guess Sabrina Peterson encouraged those alleged victims to get in contact with the authorities, and that's kind of how it all happened. We would not have heard any of this had it not been for Sabrina Peterson calling out T.I. and Tiny. That opened up Pandora's box. She Diary says, yes, getting a sane exam is very important. Yes, a rape kit, all those things are necessary. I know that sexual assault experiences can be very traumatizing, but if victims want to have a true shot at justice, we're probably just going to have to put some better systems in place to support victims doing what they need to do if they want to bring some justice to their perpetrator. Purple Lover, hey Purple Lover, hey Boo says not only that people's memories, yes, in association with the crime, or people can also die off. Exactly. It gets really, 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 really muddy to no limit at all. I think the shortest is 3 years. Here in Atlanta, yes, it's 10 years. So it varies. And that's why I said, like, at the most, I think it's 10 years. Most statute limitations are 12 months. Yep, a year or two on average. Mona says, "Ah, shucks, thanks y'all. Corporations need to stop letting social media and cancel culture dictate their endorsements and contracts." I definitely see the cancel throwing out some lawsuits because clout chasing is so real. It's so real, Mona. Catherine Powell says, "I don't think that everyone is going to keep accusing them of this if they are innocent." Child, you would be surprised in an era where there's real money on the floor, in an era where clicks and views and a little bit of notoriety can get you set up, even if you don't get paid initially off for accusing somebody. The click and the views you can get by riding the coattail of slandering or targeting somebody who is famous or somebody who has relevancy behind them turns into currency. Like, I think about, I'm not gonna say no names, but I think about some people right now, okay, who have a sustainable audience, okay, based upon accusations that were unfounded and unsubstantiated, and they are getting paid really nice off of platforms, and their visibility, the catalyst for their visibility to get paid either through social media directly, through YouTube directly, through Facebook directly, was these clout chasing antics, whether that be accusing celebrities and famous people of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And so there's money on the floor in this era. All you need to do is find a way to get a nice audience going for yourself, and you can stay paid ultimately for the rest of your damn life. I mean, look at Andrew Caldwell, for example. His initial catalyst into fame was, I don't like men's, I like women's. But then he doubled and put the insurance claim on his relevancy by accusing Corday. What's Corday last name? Portia Williams' ex-husband, Corday Stewart, I believe. Corday Stewart. He claimed to have had a whole entire affair with this man. Accused this man of being on the down low and all. Accused this man of buying him gifts, being in his DMs, and Corday ultimately being his goddamn sugar daddy. And Corday sued the living dog shit out of Andrew Caldwell, won his goddamn lawsuit, and Andrew Caldwell is still unfortunately, a relevant figure today. Anyway, the issue with this era is that bad behavior is rewarded in this era. So you can unfortunately win off of lies. You can win off of slander. You can win off of complete debauchery and physical, mental, and emotional violence unto someone by hijacking their reputation, by hijacking their good name. Look at a lot of content creators on YouTube who literally say anything out of their damn mouth, who openly slander, openly hijack people's reputation, and benefit profoundly from skewing other people's name and throwing mud and shit up against people's name. And do Google accents discriminate? No. Do Google Accents vet how that content creator got their audience, or what type of goddamn content that content creator is uploading and perpetuating? Hell no. Long as that click and that view and that algorithm is running those motherfucking ads and commercials, baby, it's on. There are entire sectors that is built on debauchery because there is revenue and currency in low vibrating shenanigans out of demonic ass behavior. And that is the unfortunate, that's one of the misfortunes of social media. While it can be beautiful, while it can give an entrepreneur access to a worldwide audience, and it could be beautiful for the true testimony, it could be beautiful for true business growing, it's also something that the heathens can weaponize and access and ultimately be rewarded from. I know that it can be hard to believe when there are multiple people saying something about a person, but to be honest, I mean, we can't allow numbers themselves to be facts. Think about a lot of the high school students, right? Think about a lot of kids in high school. Think about a lot of college students who are being picked on and teased, who have the majority of the school calling them ugly, calling them fat, calling them nigger. Is it safe to say that those people are indeed what the majority is saying they are, just because the majority is claiming that they're not valuable, or claiming that they're weird, or claiming that they're creepy, or etc.? Like, we can't allow power to be in numbers. We have to allow, ultimately, we have to prosecute people based upon what we can prove, not how many people can be convinced, or how many people can bring themselves to say something about a person. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. And we can ultimately say the same thing about allegations. Think about the man in your life. Ask all of his speak about the loving man in your life. The loving man in your life, you married. But I'm sure if you ask most of his exes, they will say he's trash. Now, you would disagree with that because you have the wonderful version of your husband, or the wonderful version of your boyfriend or girlfriend or a wife. But there's plenty of other people who other people feel was a nightmare to them. You can probably find enough people to share a negative attitude about any one person, because perception is reality. Hell, look at social media, for example. There's literally a hate group for every content creator on this bitch. There are groups who hate Consciouztv. There are groups who hate Amona Simone. There are groups who hate On-Site April. Just because those groups exist doesn't mean that the things being claimed and said are true. No, there are whole hate groups against Oprah Winfrey. There are hate groups against Beyonce. There's literally whole communities, of people who share and indulge in negative attitudes toward other individuals. If we really got into the business of co-signing a conviction against somebody based upon how many people claim something about somebody, I mean, I'm not really sure where the hell any of us would be in the world, child. Yes, they do have to start thinking critically for themselves. Hey, Prissy Poodle, what's going on? Mona says, true, and I didn't know I was that interested to have so many haters. Having haters ain't even, it's not. Just being alive, baby. and you having a gimmick of goddamn demons formed against you. What's going on, Brown Sugar? Hey, chat and CTV, I'm late to the live. I'll catch the replay. Okay. So yes, the devil, right, Mom Goody, the devil is a goddamn lie, baby. A whole entire lie. Hey, Netsie Turner, what's going on, love? There are countless cases of people coming forward to lie. Yes, I did a whole video called The Dark Side of the Me Too Movement. Check that out. I literally ran through historical cases where sometimes people in the drones came out, people in the bundles came out against another person, and all those claims were found to be unsubstantiated. Everybody was goddamn lying. I'm going to post that video, The Dark Side of the Me Too Movement, in the description box, as well as the TI video. You would be surprised how many people were bringing themselves to come against a motherfucker and say some of the worst, grotesque, demonic, injurious, low vibrating, and evil fucking things about somebody just because they don't like that person, or just because they could get a bag, or just because of wanting to retaliate for whatever reason against an individual. People will get people killed out here over petty bullshit. I mean, there's something really fucked up and dark about human nature. While it could be a nature that gives life to the world and philanthropy and humanitarianness and build homes and shelters and feed the poor, the same goddamn consciousness that's feeding the poor, it's the same consciousness that creates nuclear warheads, that creates atomic bombs. It's the same consciousness that creates capitalism. The pendulum in human nature swings equally to the left as it does to the right. We are capable of profound, divine, supernatural, almost unrealistic light and love, while at the same time we are completely capable of destroying the world 10 times over just because we have the power to. So we just got to remember that, okay? But I got to get out of here, you guys. T.I. and Tiny got the cases dismissed based upon statute of limitations. Will that continue to be across the board? We will see. Will there be new victims who come out whose cases do not exceed the statute of limitations? We don't know. Okay, I don't think this thing is quite over. I think that there's a lot to be said about situations like this. Like I said, I'm going to refrain from giving my personal opinion. I'm just going to sit back and see what the hell happens with T.I. and Miss Tiny and everything. I will leave all links to articles and to my videos in the description box below. I got to get ready for a whole another show. Thank you so much, Marilyn Smith, for the Cash App. Thank you, darling. God bless you, sugar. And shout out to all the content creators in the chat. Subscribe to Mona Simone. Subscribe to On Site April. What's going on, one cool brother? Hey, Tanya. What's going on? Okay, duplicity. We embody dark and light, period. Okay, love. I will see you guys later.